Hello everyone, thank you for coming. And first of all, thanks to all of you who came here, and thanks to organizers. This is a really great step for all of us. So let me speak about my presentation for today. It's going to be about elevating BI product, mastering Tableau server metadata. Oops. And first slide is about me. My name is Eduard Nizamov, and I'm head of BI at Data Insight Hub. This is the company which works as a consultant on the international market, mostly with data. Also, I'm a Tableau course author and tutor at IT Career Hub, which is a German school. Also, I worked previously at Turkish Airlines, Luxoft, Customer Times. Hello to guys from these companies, to my ex-colleagues. And here is also my contact information if you'd like to contact me online later on. So the agenda for today is we're gonna be speaking about enhancing BI product using Tableau server metadata, comparing metadata management in Tableau Cloud and Tableau server, exploring use cases with API methods and the Tableau Postgres repository through custom dashboards for analyzing user event logs, user actions, and access management. So here's the agenda, here's the plan for today. First, why develop BI as a product, Tableau REST API for metadata access, examples of REST API methods, Tableau server repository, showcasing custom dashboards, custom dashboard use cases, and the conclusion. So I get a lot of text for today, sorry for that, but I got some memes still, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. So why develop BI as a product? I assume all the contact at the Tableau server as my personal product. This product helps the business operate more effectively and efficiently. The general goal of my work is to assist the business in making more high-quality decisions based on my product. Therefore, monitoring and analyzing internal data on how my product is performing, including server infrastructure, server content, users, access permissions, and other data, helps me perform my job more effectively. It's hard to teach someone to work with your dashboards if you don't use them yourself. So that's why we're going to talk about the importance of dashboards. By treating BI as a product, you elevate data culture in your organization. You can manage and develop BI more effectively, ensuring it remains aligned with business goals and continues to provide valuable insights for decision making. So here are some key factors which shows us the importance of such kind of approach. These are user activity, engagement, and usage patterns. This is data governance, this is performance and server load, which we can track and monitor and analyze to improve our product. So let's talk about Tableau REST API for metadata access. Tableau REST API allows developers and administrators to automate various tasks, integrate Tableau with other applications, and manage Tableau environments more effectively. This API facilitates a range of operations, enhancing the ability to handle administrative tasks and automate workflows. Using the API, along with tools like Python and the Tableau server library, Tableau server client, the Python library, TSC, you can send requests to Tableau server, retrieve necessary data, execute services, delete or upload new content. So purposes, benefits, and key use cases. So automation of tasks. Just one example how you can use this is to schedule conditional refreshes for Tableau reports to ensure stakeholders always have the access to the most current data. So they don't have the empty dashboard if the DAG, in case if you use Apache Airflow, if the DAG failed. So they always see the data, regardless of previous pipeline failures. So integrate this with ETL processes to refresh data sources and update reports automatically. Another use case is integration with other systems. Let's say automatically adding users to the Tableau server based on changes in your HR system. Ensuring new employees have access to the necessary tool at the day one. So also advanced monitoring and management. You can monitor how different departments and users interact with reports to track their engagement, overall BI adoption rates, usage patterns, and business value from real products. Enhanced data governance. You can manage and audit user permissions programmatically to ensure only authorized users have access to relative sensitive data, enhancing data security and compliance with your organizational policies. So let's talk about examples of REST API methods. The starting point when you work with REST API methods is this link. You may use it to get more deeply with this topic by the Tableau official documentation. And this slide shows you two options of connection. So you may connect to your server via mentioning your username and password, which you use to enter the Tableau server. Or the option 2 is using PAT, personal access token, which you can issue from your account settings on the Tableau server. But the main idea is to have variables. I'm using the variables here. I'm just mentioning the server URL, the site name. By the way, you should know that if your site name is default, you just keep it simple like that. You don't mention anything. And then you enter your username and your password. Also, if you use token, you just mention your token name and token secret. Almost the same when you use your username and password. So here's our live session. We're gonna look at some examples of Python codes. So this is the option 1, when you can connect to the server with the username and password. I can just run the code, enter my password. And here it is, successfully connected to Tableau server. Now let's get back to the browser, and I will show you that I have prepared to this meetup. I've just created the Tableau online test version. What is my email? So first of all, let's check. We don't have any users here. Oh yeah, we have one. All right, I already know. Sorry. Just tested it in the morning, and I will remove the group as well. So getting back to the code. This is the option 2, but we don't use it today because Tableau Cloud, Tableau Online does not provide ability to issue your token in the test version. So let's go on. And here's the first example is to just simply adding user to the server. So you can choose, you can enter the variable here, your new user email and the role of the user. So it's going to be Serbia TUG test user, and the role is viewer. Let's run the code. Yep, it's successfully added. Let's check that one. I'll just refresh the user's page. Yeah, look at here. The user is on the server. Quite fast. Then let's try to delete the user. Again, we use the variable where we just mentioned the login of this user, and automatically it's just deleted from the server. Yep, it's clear now. But I will need this user, and I will start this code again. So the next example is collecting list of workbooks. It will just show you all the workbooks available on your server. So you can see there are Superstore, World Indicators, Superstore Orders Dashboard, and also we have IDs of those workbooks. So the next example is permissions update. Again, I use two variables. I put here the workbook name, which is Superstore, and I mentioned the username, which is Serbia TUG test user. And so I'm gonna allow this user to access to this workbook. Let's run it. And we see the message that it was successfully added, permissions were successfully added. By the way, you can see the list of capabilities equal to default view permission set, which you know on the Tableau server. Let's check it. And yeah, I need to find, where's the Explorer? Samples, here's the Superstore, permissions, yep, it's here. View template. Going back, the workbook, refresh. Another example is just we mentioned the name of the workbook, we start the code, and this workbook will be automatically refreshed. Another example is creating user group. This is quite simple and quite close to previous codes where we created the user. So here we just create the group. Group name is going to be Serbia TUG group. Let's check it. And it's here. So now we can add user to the group. Again, we use the name of the user, we run the code, and we see that the user was added to the group. I will not check this one. Another option is to get the server structure, the structure of your server. We will collect all the projects, we will collect all the workbooks and views, gather all of them together, and show them in the pandas data frame. So here's the structure of your server. Project name, workbook names, and views names. So that's it for REST API. Let's get back to the presentation. This is going to be 13. So here's the example of how I used REST API methods to create, first of all, to show the user management flow, to show what data sources are connected with what workbooks and what groups are connected with those workbooks. So here's the Sankey, which I created especially for this project. It was fun, I should say. So let's go on. Tableau server repository. The Tableau server repository is a Postgres database that stores data about all user interactions, extract refreshes, workbooks, sites, projects, users, and so on. Unlike the REST API, which is available on both Tableau Online and on-premise Tableau server, the Tableau server repository is exclusive to on-premise installations. In this presentation, we are not comparing the conceptual differences between on-premise and the online versions. Each has its own pros and cons. However, in the context of working with internal data, the cloud version provides a set of pre-built admin insights dashboards and relevant data sets, which offer a good overview but do not provide access to all the data. The REST API allows for some degree of data extraction, but it does not offer the same level of detailed data access as the Postgres repository available in the on-premise version. So, Tableau server continuously collects and writes data to the repository as users interact with the server. Data in the repository is updated in real time or near real time, depending on the specific time of data being collected. The data within the repository's tables addresses various aspects of the server's life, including users and their interactions, sites, projects, workbooks, metadata, license role, disk space usage, load times, and so on. So here's the entity relationship diagram. Let's go on. So we can connect to the Tableau server repository using tools like dbeaver, DataGrip, and other clients. And also we are able to connect to the repository directly from Tableau desktop. Detailed instructions on how to connect using Tableau desktop are well documented in the official Tableau documentation. You may find it from Google. So I just can mention that the main database is called Workgroup. Below are some of the most important tables and a brief description of their purposes. There is a data dictionary from Tableau documentation providing information on tables and columns of the database. Here's the link. Well, the main tables are historical events. It records all events occurring on Tableau server, including user logins, content access, administrative actions, and so on. Workbooks stores metadata about all workbooks. Users contains all information about all users. Views and data sources, the same, they just store all the metadata regarding views or data sources and so on. So use cases and examples of repository. Practical use cases of your scripts or reports on repositories data can vary greatly depending on the context in which you operate. Factors such as the size of your business, the number of users and reports, whether development is centralized or decentralized, the availability of self-service BI, the number of creator accounts, how many people are allowed to edit permissions, and so on, all influence how you might use the repository. Below are a few practical examples demonstrating how you can leverage the Tableau server repository for advanced analytics. For example, this code just collects the basic hierarchy, just site name, project names, workbooks, and views. Let's get some more value from these tables by joining users and views stats tables. The following SQL query, I guess you don't see it well, right? Sorry guys. The following SQL query, I will just read first and then I will show it for you, okay? The following SQL query expands the previously provided query to include additional details such as the owner of the workbook, the last published date, and total views. So you may see that we still use sites as the main table, and we just join projects, workbooks, views, and users by their keys, and we can get all these data like last published date, creation date, owner, and total views. So going back, when users are edited manually, there is always a risk of human error leading to the same email address being assigned to different users, as an example. This can create issues in user management, mistakes with subscriptions, and cause even security violations. The following SQL query helps identify such potential duplicates by checking if any email is repeated for different users. As a result, we'll see the list of users with repeated emails. Do you see it well? Yes, this one must be fine. I hope. Another one, simply search for the user by the email, since there is no such tool on the server UI. So, finally, dashboard use cases. We are here about dashboards, right? This is BI meetup. Still, okay. First use case, first example, the user logins dashboard. It provided me essential insights into user activity on Tableau server. This dashboard is particularly useful for identifying users who haven't logged in for an extended period or haven't logged in at all, and taking necessary actions to manage those accounts. It might be a bit primitive, having no complex metrics, but it's fast and easy to answer a simple question. Do we give licenses responsible? And track whether stakeholders are involved into using Tableau or not. I will show you this dashboard, but first I will show you the data model. The data model for the dashboard consists of several tables, like users, sites, projects, workbooks, views, group users, groups, site roles. All of them you can find in the Tableau repository. So now I will show you the dashboard. I'm sorry, yeah, you can see it well, but in general I will just, it's quite simple. However, we have just 4 metrics here, 4 cards showing just the number of users who haven't logged in to the server at all, users who logged in for more than 100 days ago, and so on. So less than 15 days ago are the most active users. And it always, of course, it has the table, and with some more detailed information, like user age, created at, last login exact date, date time, and so on. So it works on actions. Of course, you can filter it out. Clicking here, you will see the list of users who haven't logged into the server at all. So this is it for this one. Let's go on. Another example is a dashboard on event logs. Tableau Server Event Log was designed to give me a comprehensive view of all events on Tableau Server, segmented by event types and users over a timeline. There are 6 high-level action types of events which we may track in the historical event types table: access, create, delete, publish, send email, and update, which are divided into multiple action names like delete workbook, delete user, access view, create user, and so on. I will show you this dashboard later on. This dashboard also works on filter actions, but actually I can show it right now, I think. So yeah, it's also basically in the upper side of the dashboard you can see the list of actions which events which happened in the period which is mentioned here. Basically, I look at this server and I just track the last 7 days. We can see all the created site users. We can see all deleted users, edit users to groups, and publish workbooks. So here's the list of action types, action names, and users. We can see each circle is one event on the server. So we can click on any user, on the row with any user, and see the detailed information open here, which also shows the same distributed events by every hour. We can use it to understand the usage patterns. For example, what is more likely by this user, where he gets more frequently, and so on. Also, we see all the distinct sites which are used by this user, distinct workbooks, and the list of these events with the hierarchy like project, workbook, and view. And the site, of course, high leveling. Yeah, let's go on. This dashboard is developed on several main tables and is based on custom SQL, where the main table is historical events. This table is the heart of the cluster of tables devoted to historical event auditing. For each event, a record is created on this table. The type of event is indicated through historical event type ID, which leads to the historical event types table. Additional data regarding actor users of events, target users, projects, workbooks, view details, and so on are collected from relevant tables by relevant keys. So here like maybe 10 or 12 joins, but still the main table is historical event. Probably you don't see. I will just zoom in for you, sorry. Here how it looks like. The main table, as I said, historical events, and lots of joins to get more details on workbooks, projects, users, and so on. So let's go on. I often found myself frustrated when I had to investigate the specific access each user or object had. I needed a tool that could provide a clear and immediate understanding of the permissions situation on our Tableau server. It was essential to quickly identify where and what permissions were granted, whether there were any violations, mistakenly granted permissions, or if any unauthorized users had editing or deletion rights. The necessity became critically important as I took full responsibility for my product. Therefore, I developed this dashboard, which offers a detailed view of the permissions granted to groups and users across different workbooks on the Tableau server. It allows me to easily audit and manage access rights, ensuring appropriate level of access. And I will finally show you this dashboard. And first of all, let me show you in live. Sorry, it's probably again not visible well. I will better just zoom in later on the slide. I will just show you that basically this is it's quite simple again. It's just a structure of your server. You see the site name, the project name, all the workbooks, and grantee names which have rights to access to this workbook, like Grantees are groups, user groups, and users, of course. And you also see the list of permissions, which are pre-selected by me because I see those selected permissions, those selected capabilities as more important for me. Like read ability, filtering, export data, deleting, writing, write is publishing, change permissions, and so on. And it also works with action. You may click on the group and see how many users are in this group and exactly what users are in this group. So it works like that. You can always close it. So getting back to the slide, I will just show you for those who couldn't see it well. This is the structure, the site name, the root project name, workbook name, grantee name, and the capabilities which I said, read, filter, export data, and so on. So, the dashboard provides a view of the current server structure, as I said, and a view of permissions granted to groups and users across the Tableau server. Yeah, going next, and the custom SQL script laying under the dashboard is designed to provide a detailed view of the permissions. By leveraging multiple union all statements, it combines data from various tables to create a unified perspective on granted permissions. The script primarily uses the following key tables. Next-gen permissions. The table provides a flexible means of describing which users and groups have been granted specific capabilities on our server. Capabilities tables. The table holds a relatively short list of capabilities. This is just the list which I showed you previously, like read, filter, view, and so on. Workbooks, views, projects, and size. This is the same story as I showed you previously on other projects. They are used just to get more metadata about all these objects and give more detailed information. I will just also zoom it in. Here how it looks like. From is the main table, next-gen permissions. The main when you start your project on working on some permissions project, and just joining workbooks, project sites, and so on. And we get lots of unions in this SQL script. So, how can I get back like that? All right, the conclusion. In this presentation, we have explored the complexities of managing BI as a product, focusing on the details of Tableau server metadata using both the REST API and Tableau server repository. Thank you all for your attention, and I hope this presentation has provided valuable insights for you. So here's the Q&A session. If you have any questions.
Thank you for a very fruitful presentation. You have mentioned that you use some of this dashboard for data governance. Can you go deeper in details a little?
Yeah, thanks. Well, speaking about data governance, I mostly speak here about auditing permissions. This is the story actually.
Eduard, thank you for very good practical session with you. And I have a question about what good analytics, good reports, etc. And what are you going to do with these results? Are you, for example, automate some consequence notification of users? Okay, we cannot, I suppose, we can automate bots who can restrict the access, whatever. But for example, when you need some business data, for example, you analyze who is really logging or whatever, do you really distribute it then through the company, how you manage this, because it's very tough to do, like manually send it to a letter or someone and asking for explain them what they're doing here and like you behave such like login, etc.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, of course, do use this data after that analytics, and of course we speak with our business stakeholders. For example, there was a meme about that actually. I developed it myself. Really, because this is a live situation. Your users ask you for a new dashboard. They always ask you for a new dashboard. Actually, they may come every week and let's make another one, let's make another one. But when you check, if they, and you see that they haven't even logged in to the server, you can always ask them why.
Yes.
So yeah, this is the answer. Any other questions?
Question about UX. Did you try something like track actions on dashboards? Because I know that it is real task, but how maybe you also try it? Because sometimes it is interesting to check how people use filters, parameters, and maybe what are they using.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Actually, I got some plans to investigate this, and unfortunately, we do not have such kind of detailed information in our Postgres. But I know there is, for example, there was at least one extension which you may use for that to collect this data and to analyze it later. But still, I haven't worked on it yet. Unfortunately, not such deep analytics yet.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. So my question is, in this presentation, you show that it's possible to derive such an infrastructure when you understand how often everything is used, what's the most valuable. So my question is, do you believe that it is better to invest some time in the beginning, as soon as possible, to create such an infrastructure? Or maybe there is a specific stage of your business when this comes as into the first priority, something like that. Because currently, I believe that we have some problems with all that you mentioned, but it's just hard to understand. Should we invest some time on it now, or maybe wait for some specific sites?
Well, yeah. Actually, I think, of course, yeah, you need some more data probably to start all these projects, to really get some valuable insights from them. But however, starting to develop them doesn't give you any negative effect, I think. So you can always start working on them, but just sometimes maybe if you have 50 users or less, let's say, probably it's easier at this stage just to talk directly to your users. I don't know. So for example, as for my project, it works now on around 500 users on the server.
Thank you again for the presentation. A lot of insights, I guess, everybody's getting here. And still, the question about this, a lot of time investment in this infrastructure. I'm wondering, did you count any numbers of savings or profits which you get in your business, in the company? Probably it saves a lot of time for your team or for the stakeholders. So how much this time investment cover the profits? Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
Yeah, answering to this question, I can say it depends on the project, on the dashboard which you use. For example, I can say about permissions dashboard. It's really so much valuable for me and for my team because it saves a lot of time really, because there is no such tool by default in the Tableau, and sometimes when the business stakeholder or business analytics, I don't know, comes to you with a question like, this is the user, what kind of permissions does it have? and you don't have any ability to answer this question until you get all the, just click every page, every workbook, every project on your server. So it saves a lot of time.
And security, I guess.
Sure, security, of course, yes. This is one of the main points. All right, this is it, I guess.
And save lots of Tableau licenses, which
Definitely, yes. We always delete them. One more.
Thank you actually for presentation. It was really great. My question is really simple. How quickly you can answer like head of BI? How quickly understand that this data should be necessary for company? When is this crucial moment that can be, if it can be, of course?
Well, as I mentioned previously, I think it depends on lots of factors. It depends on what is the stage of your business in general, like what is the maturity level of your like analytics, data-driven analytics in the company in general. Like it's important also to know if you have self-source BI, for example, and so on. I think I'm not sure what to answer here. As for me, you can always get some values, some insights. So yeah, I think this is the answer. That's it, I guess.
How Tableau charge you for Tableau? Just for licenses or something else?
Just for license, yeah, it's for.
Because for Tableau Online they charge for data management and some other things.
Yeah, they charge just for licenses, and the Tableau server is just
Everything
default
on you
option
to
for
organize.
Yeah, just fully on us, on our IT environment. That's it. Thank you.